शेषाद्यवं शकलेशोदरिभूर्णचन्द्रं श्रीमन्नृसिंहगुरुवरीयतदाब्जभृङ्गं श्रीमन्नरन्तगुरुपद्यश्रुतं गुणाब्धिं सम्पत्कुमार गुरुवर्यमहं प्रभक्ति वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. कृष्ण परमात्मा is an easily accessible God. God has many manifestations. In this Krishna Avatara is a complete Avatara where he teaches Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, who is having a disease. What is that disease? He is not interested in fighting to kill his own people. But killing does not mean a sin, because everything is ordained by the plan, master planner, Krishna Paramatma. And at the fighting center, there is Kurukshetra. When the war is to commence, if you say that I am not interested in war, it is not a desirable feature. So for this purpose, he gives a glimpse of the characteristic of Atma, Paramatma, with two modes, namely Prakriti and Jivatmas as his body. And he completes teaching Gita in 9 chapters, telling about Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Sannyasa Yoga, Adhyatma Yoga, Jnana Vijnana Yoga, Akshara Brahma Yoga, and lastly, the Rajavidya, Raja Guhya Yoga, telling about the master plan prepared by him or realizing him. Once again, he commences Bhujayeva Mahabaho, telling, I am once again telling you certain more details. According to Ramanuja's interpretation, there is an exposition of the exalted attributes of God and the boundless realm of finite entities that constitute his glories. This is stated to serve the purpose of originating and increasing bhakti, whose essence has been already outlined in the conclusion of the 9th chapter. This 10th chapter, being the today's subject matter of discussion, is divided into 3 parts. The first part comprising about God's Aishwarya, Vibhuti or grandeur. The second part, thrilled by the statements, Arjuna questions that he wants a detailed narration of this Vibhuti or the grandeur, as every step narrated by him is considered to be very useful, unforgettable, and ever changing. So, Vibhuti Vistara, that is detailing his grandeur in 20 shlokas, he explains his own Vibhuti, which is useful for purposes of bhakti, growth, development, and utility. The first part, in the first part, Krishna Bhagavan makes the following declaration. Listen further to my supreme instruction. I will speak out for your good as you are pleased with the teaching and do love me. Even the gods and the great sages do not comprehend my greatness, for I am the source of the gods and the great sages in every respect. Whoever knows me as transcendent in matter, the finite souls that are bound in matter, and also those that are liberated, and as the supreme Lord of the universe, and does not confound my transcendent being with any other entity, is freed from all sins. By knowing this grandeur, bhakti can be started. Bhagavan Krishna is the supreme Lord of the universe and does not confound himself to a particular place. He is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. Ramarga interprets this as signifying that the knowledge of the unique and transcendent nature of God, by virtue of his purity and perfection, puts an end to all sins that obstruct the origination of bhakti. Can originate when we go through the greatness of God. The mental qualities of being such as intelligence, knowledge, discrimination, forgiveness, truthfulness, the control of the senses, and the control of the mind, pleasure, pain, the states of mind leading to pleasure and pain, fear, fearlessness, non injury, equality, gratification, austerity, charity, the mental qualities at the back of fame, those that lead to disrepute, and all such conditions are due to my will to that effect. Meaning, everywhere God is there. In every activity, in every individual, in every particle. The knowledge of the substantial nature of God, as distinguished from every other entity, originates bhakti. The knowledge of the auspicious attributes and the glories that belong to Him, Sakara Kalyana Guna, increases the bhakti so originated. It is in the process of describing the glories of God that the qualities of mind mentioned above are said to be due to the will of God. The seven great sages and the four Manus, who are the mental offspring of Brahma and who are the primeval progenitors and protectors of all creatures, live according to my will. He who understands these attributes and glories of mine will be indubitably established in the path of bhakti. Origin of bhakti is knowing that God is the protector, creator, and destroyer of the world. You will yourself see that his devotion increases progressively. With that developed bhakti, he will realize that I am the origin of this vast universe of matter and souls, and that all beings function on account of me. Realizing this natural and boundless dominion of mine and my blessed qualities like condescension towards creatures, beauty and compassion, the men of knowledge practice devotion towards me with intense yearning of heart. Thus, the fact of the knowledge of God's qualities and glories, expanding devotion, is clearly affirmed in these verses of the Gita, thereby confirming Ramanuja's interpretation of the chapter. The devotees' minds are fixed on me, their life is centered in me, they instruct each other about me and narrate the marvelous deeds of mine. Machitta Madgata Pranaha Bodhayanta Parasparam. The speakers are gratified and the listeners are delighted. To such who seek abiding union with me and worship me, I grant with love the pathway of intelligence through which they will come to me. Further, out of compassion, I being established as the object of their inward contemplation will destroy the darkness of soul or the nature of desire for other things through the shining light of knowledge concerning me. By my self revelation, whatever lingering attachments they may have for lower values, I obliterate completely. If you begin to sing and learn of God, all impediments are cleared by Him. That's what He means. What happens may be put in a few words. The knowledge and the distinctive nature of God starts the love of God. The knowledge of His qualities and glories brings about the expansion of love. Devotion will increase. When the devotees contemplates on God with such increased love, God who dwells in his heart as the object of devotion brings about the maturation of that contemplation. Contemplation matures. Then he grants him a revelation of himself, and the overwhelming bliss of that perception destroys finally the craving for other values. It is such craving set up by past karma that involves the individuals in ignorance for the pursuit and attainment of lower values requires the sustaining aid of the ignorance at the highest. When the craving is liquidated without any residue and with all its effects, the soul in man apprehends the divine unimpeded and by a spontaneous light of its knowledge. Thus, spiritual life is a continuous education in the love of God, alternately progressing by human effort and divine grace. Human effort sadhana, divine grace, kripa, both are required. And culminating in the final vision of God. It is the nature of the finite soul to be in communion with God. That nature stands suppressed by the perversities of ignorance, breeding desires. Love of God, carried to its finality of magnitude and intensity, eradicates the perversity, and the soul is set up in its proper nature of beholding in ecstasy of the infinite reality of God. Meaning, think of God and His qualities. Your devotion will increase. This first part of the chapter. The second part, Arjuna questions being overwhelmed by joy. There is great appropriateness in Arjuna making some remarks at this stage, giving expression to his understanding and appreciation of the sublime teaching imparted to him thus far. He is thrilled. There should also be a clue as to how he has been moved by the great doctrine of God and Bhakti. God is the end, Bhakti is the means. Hence, we have here his observation with an appeal for some essential aids towards the practice of bhakti. Thou art the absolute Brahman and the absolute light and the holiest one spoken out by the Vedas. The great sages declare thee to be the eternal and divine Purusha, the unborn and the primordial deity. All the sages such as Asita, Devala, Vyasa, and the remaining sages Narada sing of thy supremacy in this shrine. All rishis, alvas sing of you. Though thyself also dost teach me so, you are also telling the same thing to me. I take all that thou teachest to me as true. Neither the gods nor the demons are, O Lord, know the manner of thy manifestation. How do you manifest? None of them know. Only thou knowest thyself. O thou the greatest of Purushas, the creator and the Lord of all beings, the God of gods, and the overlord of the universe. Thou mayst tell me all thy glories, the glorious modes by which thou pervadest all the worlds as their controller. Please narrate me in detail. How am I to think of thee when engaged in the loving contemplation of thee? What are the forms of being in which I have to contemplate thee as the inner controller? Enlighten me more and that extensively about thy great attributes and the modes of thy control of the cosmos. Listening to the nectar of thy words, I know no satisfaction. Meaning, I am not satisfied with what you have told. Explain things better so that I can practice the same to attain you. This is second part. Meaning, questioning the attributes of God in detail, meaning Vibhuti explanation, Vibhuti understood, and Vibhuti further explanation is sought by Arjuna. This comprises 18 shlokas. Next 20 shlokas represent a detailed narration or further explanation Sri Krishna responds to the question through the rest of the chapter. I will tell thee my holy manifestation, selecting the most important of them. I cannot tell everything. Most important to them I can explain. For there is no limit to them, and hence an exhaustive statement is out of question. Here, the Vibhuti, roughly translated as glory, as far may be explained. Glory of God, explained, already narrated in the 18 slokas. The word Vibhu means the Lord or controller. The word Vibhuti signifies the lordship or control when used in abstractions. But when it is used in the sense of concrete entities, it signifies entities that are under the control of their master or some controlling power, displaying both the controller and his powers of control. Control is Krishna. Powers of control are his Vibhuti. Through them, he shines forth, and hence they are to be regarded as the manifestations of his prowess and splendor. It is in this sense that the word Vibhuti figures in this subsequent portion of the chapter. The word glory brings out the force of the interpretation. What belongs to one and is under his effective control is his Vibhuti. Entire Vibhuti is under his control. I am the soul dwelling in the heart of all beings, and I am the beginning, middle, and the end. Adi, Madhya, Antya. That the Supreme Being rules over all creatures as their very soul, and they are under his rule as his body is the central principle. For Paramatma, every soul is a body. For every soul, the physical body is its instrument. By soul, we are to understand the conscious principle which sustains, activates, and owns as a means. Another entity, and the other entity is called the body. Hence, God is very the soul of all, and all the beings, sentient and non sentient, constitute in their totality the divine body. He is the creator, preserver, and destroyer of all, and hence he is described as the beginning, the middle, and the end. The relation of soul and body is such that terms denoting the body denote the soul also through that body. As the term denoting the body never stops with that denotation, but stretch up to the soul itself in their denotation. The soul may be spoken of as identical with what is signified by the terms representing the body. This is the justification of the language of identity employed in the following enumeration of the vibhutis of God. I means my body and the soul. Soul means God's body and God Himself. Is a triad which is there inside. There are two unperishable items inside our heart in the Daharakasha. And the body is perishable. The other two is Anoranya, Bhagavad, meaning it is atom like Jivatma. Among the gods known as Adityas, I am Vishnu. Among luminous bodies, I am the sun. Among the Maruts, I am Marichi. Among the stars, I am the moon. Among the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Among the gods, I am Indra, that is Devatas. Among the senses, I am the mind. Among the beings with consciousness, I am consciousness. Among the gods known as Rudras, I am Shankara. Among Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am Kubera. Among the gods known as Vasus, I am the god Agni. Among the mountains with peaks, I am Meru. Among the priests, I am Brihaspati. Among the commanders of armies, I am Skanda. Among the reservoirs of water, I am the ocean. Among the great sages, I am Bhrigu. Among words, I am the single letter word Pranava, Omkara. Among sacrifices, I am the sacrifice of the nature soft and devout recitation of sacred formula. Gayatri Chandasamaham. Among mountains, I am the Himalaya. Among all the trees, I am the sacred Ashwatha. Among the divine sages, I am Narada. Among the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha. Among those accomplished in contemplation, I am Kapila. Among horses, I am Ucheshtravas, born of nectar. Among the great elephants, I am Airavata. Among the men, I am the king. Among weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among the cows, I am the wish fulfilling heavenly cow Kamadhenu. Among those who cause birth, I am Cupid. Among snakes, I am Vasuki. Among many headed serpents, I am Ananta. Among beings who live in water, I am Varuna. Among those who punish, I am the god of death, Yama. Among progeny of Diti, I am Prahlada. Among those who count for adverse purposes, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. Among birds, I am the great Garuda, son of Vinuta. Among the moving beings, I am wind. Among those who wield weapons, I am Rama. Here, the Vibhuti is the mastery of weapons. Among water creatures, I am the king of the fishes. Among rivers, I am Ganges, Ganga. In creations, I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. I am the creator, preserver, and destroyer in all the process of creation. Processes of creation. I am the science of the Atman among the sciences. I am the disputation aiming at the discovery of truth among those who carry on controversies. Among letters, I am the first letter A. Among the samsara, I am the among the samasas, I am the Dvandva samasa. I am the imperishable time. Among creators, I am the four-faced Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. I am death who takes away the life of all, Mrityu. I am the origin of those who originate. I am Sri, goddess of splendor among women. I am also repetition, speech, remembrance, intelligence, perseverance, and forgiveness among ladies, women. I am Brihat Saman among all the Saman chants. Among the meters, I am the Gayatri meter. Among months, I am Margashira. Among the seasons, I am the spring. Among gamblers, I am the gambling. I am the radiance of the radiant. I am victory in the victorious. I am the resolution in the resolute. Among the men of great minds, I am their greatness of mind. Among the persons belonging to the Krishna clan, I am the son of Vasudeva. Among the sons of Pandu, I am Arjuna. Among sages noted for seeing the nature of Atman through contemplation, I am Vyasa. Among the wise ones, I am Mushana, Bhargava Kavihi, Shukra. In those who administer punishment, I am the principle of punishment. In those who pursue victory, I am the policy that leads to victory. Among the means of keeping a secret, I am silence. In men of knowledge, I am knowledge. Whatever is the seed of all beings that I am, there is no being either moving or non moving, which is independent of me. There is no end to my glories. What I have stated to you is a presentation of the expanse of my glory under some restrictions facilitating brevity of statement. Among the glories of God, the most glorious is every kind has been selected, and Sri Krishna says that he is that. The topmost in each hierarchy of forms is identified with God. The logic of this identity lies in the body soul relationship between the glories and the divine principle functioning through them. The general import of the part of the discourse is affirmed in the last two verses. Whatever existent is itself possessed of glory, is splendid and auspicious. Know that to be the outcome of part of my radiance. Just as the essential core of every entity is God, dwelling in it as its very soul, even so all existence forming the most distinguished of their kind are the manifestations of God's beauty and power through them. Their speciality comes from their transparent disclosure of the divine to them. Of what avails knowing all this in detail? I remain sustaining this entire cosmos, consisting of souls and bodies, and of causes and effects, by a little part of myself. Ekam Shenasthito Jagata. It is to be noted that from the larger metaphysical point of view, the entire universe is a Vibhuti of God, maintained through the exercise of a part of his divine power. As an exposition of the whole expanse of divine Vibhuti is impossible, Sri Krishna selects the best specimens of the kingdom of nature and living beings for declaring his controlling presence in them. The greatness and splendor of them is set to issue out of this presence. So saying, he completes the chapter. अस्मिन् व्रतमारम्भाम् यदिशेखरमध्यमाम् लक्ष्मीवल्लभपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्